It's Dad. How you doing? Well, this is not a Dad Watches Horror Movies video. This is my first attempt of Dad Reads Horror Movie Reviews video. Before I started doing these videos, I wrote, and I'm still writing, horror movie reviews on Letterboxd.com. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 5 of my horror movie reviews for you. So here we go. Episode 1 of Dad Reads Horror Movie Reviews. So here is my Letterboxd.com profile. They also have an app you can put on your phones. My profile name is Moketown, and as you can see, I have a bio on the right, which I'll expand and read to you in a little bit. On top of my profile, it shows my favorite films, top 4. Then it goes down to my recent activity, which is basically the recent reviews I've written, and you can see all 4 of those have all been Dad Watches Horror Movies episodes. So if you haven't watched those, I suggest you get to it, eh? So last 2 recent reviews, Final Exam and Bad Moon, and then it scrolls down to see what my most popular reviews are, which is based off of the likes. I have a diary on the right-hand side, which shows when I've written my reviews and what the dates of those reviews were written, when they were written. Also, you can create lists, so I have lists of different things like Horror Score Essentials, my Dad's Watches Horror Movies episodes, etc. Tags, who's following me. And that's about it for the profile. So I wanted to read my bio to you all before I read 5 of my horror movie reviews, so you can kind of get an idea of my style of reviewing. So here we go. Expanding. Follow me through the horror movie world and watch along with me on my YouTube channel, Dad Watches Horror Movies. I'm hoping you all are doing that. If not, subscribe to it. I love horror movies and everything to do with horror. I am a dad, but that does not stop me from partaking in scary, raunchy, gory, graphic horror movies once my kids hit the hay. Yeah, I said hit the hay. Dad phrase. Get used to it. Once they are old enough, I will have them join me on these epic watching palavers. Or palavers, however you want to say that word. What do I watch? Whatever movie I feel like watching. If a movie has any horror movie aspects or relations, it will be a possible watch. If you enjoy all aspects of horror, then you will be entertained. From horror iconic excellence to horror suck-ass shit, this dad will watch it and let you know about it. A little more about me. I'm a situational, funny guy, hot sauce and spicy food lover, the oldest skimboarder you've ever met, intense basketball player, golfing hack, retro gamer, horror lover, and life's critic. About my movie tastes. Open-minded movie guy who is way into horror. I also enjoy science fiction, action, adventure, fantasy, and comedy. The occasional family movie is a good watch too. I am not a big fan of slow-moving dramas or anything that saddens me. I am watching a movie for my own personal enjoyment. So entertain me and make me feel good. Romantic comedies do not make me feel good at all. For every movie that I watch from now on, old to new, or even if I have already seen it, I am going to give it a rating. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. Some ratings will change depending on if I change my mind. As for my diary, only horror movies will make it in my diary, and those will be reviewed more extensively. And those will be the ones that I'll be reading you. My star rating system, as you can see, I don't really need to explain that. You can see 5 stars all the way down to 1 star. And then I explain, I do not use the 0.5 star rating. 1 star pretty much sums up how garbage worthy a movie can be. So there we go. 5 excellent, all the way down to 1 horrible. So let's get to my first reading of a horror movie review. Review number 1, Blood Rage, 1987. I finally watched this for the first time, and I'm shocked I did not watch this sooner. No doubt, an underrated slasher with some memorable scenes. The doorbell ditch, decapitated head hanging is classic slasher creativity, and the look on the damsel's screaming face is of horror cheese mastery. Terry's crazy happy attitude is uncanny when his friends finally figure out that he is the killer. Jumping up and down on the diving board and saying, "Hi," is excellent. You will understand when you see it. 4 stars, very good movie. On to the next one. Review number 2, Dead and Buried, 1981. "Welcome to Potter's Bluff," says the guy crashing through the living room window, scaring the hell out of you. I love horror movies with a coastal setting. Something about the beautiful wave-crashing scenery with the sense of dread tickles my fancy. See John Carpenter's The Fog or Humanoids from the Deep. Dead and Buried might not bring us innovative horror aspects, but it brings us a unique story and puts a twist on zombie flicks that we all are not used to. Charlie's grandpa loves dead bodies. Let us hope you can figure that one out. 4 stars, very good movie. Review number 3, The Funhouse, 1981. Tobe's Carnival blows away my crappy local town carnival. Extravagant funhouse, strip tent, busty fortune tellers, animal freak show. What more could an irresponsible teenager ask for? Besides this awesome setting, it could have been way more fun than a deformed freak paying for sex and blowing his load before his pants come off. Missed opportunities upon more missed opportunities plagued the funhouse with mediocrity. 2.5 stars, which is a below average rating. Review number 4, Street Trash, 1987. Melting in toilets, melting fighting over booze, melting out of jealousy, people melting everywhere. The overall quality of Street Trash does not do the stellar artists behind these melting masterpieces any justice. Sometimes even great design gore cannot save horror movies with crappy plots. Viper, the main attraction, is pushed to the side more often than it should to make room for a misplaced Vietnam veteran story. Besides all these melting bums, there is one other intriguing sequence that stayed with me for better. Bill the cop beats up on a perpetrator and then purposely barfs on his head after kicking the piss out of him in a public bathroom. Horror cheese gold. Fuck you, give me a bottle of booze, here's my dollar, suck my dick. 3 stars, that's an average star rating. And when you see those quotes, those are actual quotes from the movie. So there you go, that's not my words. Review number 5, and the last review of this episode. Insidious, 2010. I am not a fan of this type of horror, and it is mainstream now. The sequence of making us jump in our seats randomly with an instant creepy loud noise or score, and an instant appearance of an unnatural figure or face seems to be the horror norm now. There is no sense of dread or shock, just cheap jump scare thrills. It is all the non-horror moviegoers' fault. The teeny boppers that say, "Hee hee, let's go see a scary movie, hee hee," but have no idea what a true scary movie entails. I need something to wince at, something that makes me feel weirdly uncomfortable, something that makes me open my eyes wide and drop my jaw. God, I miss 1980s horror. Coming off my horror high horse, I can be open-minded and say this. Insidious is a modern-day Poltergeist, but not a shitty remake of Poltergeist like the Poltergeist remake actually is. It is PG-13 predictable, but has an enticing story with an ending that is sequel-worthy. 3 stars, an average rating. And I will see you next time on Dad Reads Horror Movie Reviews.